Speaking of TV hosts, starting off our top talkers, Willie, Glenn Beck in the news.
Yep, let's just lay it out. We'll play the clip. Glenn Beck, the Fox News host, radio host, author, he was a guest on another Fox News show yesterday, and they were in the discussion about Professor Gates and his arrest in Cambridge, Massachusetts, and they were talking about the president weighing in so quickly on this issue and saying the police acted stupidly. Here's what Glenn Beck said about President Obama.
This president, I think, has exposed himself as a guy over and over and over again who has a deep-seated hatred for white people or the white culture. I don't know what it is.
You can't say he doesn't like white people. David Axelrod's white. Rahm Emanuel's his chief of staff are white. I think 70% of the people that we see every day are white. Robert Gibbs is white.
I'm not saying that he doesn't like white people. I'm saying he has a problem. This guy is, I believe, a racist.
Wow.
Okay, I want to get Lawrence's take on this, but let me read you. The NAACP came out with a statement here. It reads, "How could the president be a racist? A man of both African American and white heritage, a man who inspired millions of Americans to unite across the divide of race, religion, class, and age in his historic run for the presidency. We commend President Obama for having the courage to discuss an issue that all too many Americans consider a third rail."
Jonathan Capehart.
Yeah.
What do we do with this?
I'm highly annoyed.
Yeah.
How is it possible that this guy, and I know I'm opening myself up to lots of abuse now, but how is it possible that this guy can sit on national television and call the President of the United States a racist? The President is half white, and not that that even matters. I mean, come on. I wish we would just stop this. Glenn Beck and people like that need to stop this, because this is, throwing out the R word, the racist word, and some other words are conversation stoppers. We're never going to get past the point where the Glenn Becks of the world will just hurl that out at people. And I know there are blacks who do it and whites who do it, but when it's done, people go to their battle stations, they harden their positions, and they don't want to talk. So as long as Glenn Beck is out there calling the president a racist or anyone else a racist, we're never going to get past this point of constantly reacting to racial flare-ups and wondering why in 2009 or 2008 or 2007, when we've had these conversations before, why we can't seem to get this conversation past the point of reacting.
I have a prediction for how
Glenn
Beck is going to handle the aftermath. He's going to deny he said it. He's done this before. He's actually said things on videotape and then said, "Oh, I didn't say that." And so he's not going to try to defend it. He's just going to say, "I didn't say that, and I didn't say that."
Don't you think that, in reality, I mean, Glenn Beck is just show business.
Yeah.
I mean, he doesn't believe this stuff.
I've actually heard from people who know him that he actually doesn't mean this stuff, and it is just a business angle.
It's got to be an act, because
that makes it more outrageous.
Apart from the use of the word racist, Jonathan, I would submit that the larger, dumber statement is when he says that the President of the United States has a, quote, deep-seated hatred for white people, unquote.
He didn't say that.
Glenn.
He didn't say that.
His mother was white. He was raised by a white woman, his grandmother. Hello, Glenn. Glenn, I know NASA is nearly out of business, but you're still up in the constellations. Come on back down to Earth, please.
Yeah.
But hey, Mike, though, can I just say, if it's true that Glenn Beck doesn't believe what he's saying, that this is all just for entertainment value, that is really outrageous, because there are a lot of people out there who don't get that, who take him at his word.
Jonathan, if I could even add to that, and let me know if you agree. I'm so hesitant to wade in for a number of reasons, but the first one being that I hate giving someone who says something like that any more attention.
Too late.
Having said that,
too late.
Outrageous is one way of putting it. I would say irresponsible, especially now.
Yes.
Especially given the role that we are
Absolutely.
blessed to have here. Jonathan.
Right. You're exactly right, Mika. It's outrageous, it's irresponsible, and it only fosters this. All of that. Yes. Any other words? Because these are all correct. It just poisons the pool even further.
When faced with these quotes, he's going to say, "I didn't mean that, and I didn't say that."
Okay, I'm not here to defend Glenn Beck. Let me make that very clear. Let me just pose it this way.
Okay.
If someone on the left had called George Bush a racist on TV, would we be throwing our hands up? Would we be so outraged?
Yes.
Would we demand an apology?
Yes.
We would?
I would.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Really?
Yeah.
I would. Sure.
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
That's it's a charged, it's a highly charged accusation.
No, I think that, wow, that word, you better have merit when you're using it. Having been the
you better have proof.
Listen, I understand, Jonathan, I understand your outrage. I still think that Glenn Beck, he's making $30 million a year. He's thinking to himself, this is how I made $30 million a year. I'm going to keep on doing it.
Right.
It's an act.
People need to, then I just hope people who are helping contribute to that $30 million think about this. Really think about the danger, I don't know, the poison that he puts into the atmosphere when he uses words like that.
Right. And then, you know,
and the only reason why we're talking about it at this point, Jonathan, is because the NAACP is weighing in, and at this point he's made news of himself. But you know what? Let's leave it there. Anything else you want to add to this before we wrap it up, Jonathan?
Nah, that's it. I'm done.
Good. All right. That a boy.